Hold on. Take 2. I told you I was going to get it down, and I did.
You did.
There we go.
Okay.
We're official now with the slate. So what happened was we had some technical difficulty, or as in my case, stupidity, and the buttons weren't pushed to start recording. And so Ted and I, we did, I don't know, goodness gracious, 10 minutes of everything. So let me recap what you missed.
Yeah. Andrew's Scottish.
I'm Scottish, like 3 generations Scottish, removed from Scotland, came to Canada, hence the Canada support here, because my grandfather, not sure if he was born in Canada, but he came from Canada to the United States, and then the rest is history. But we're Bairds from Scotland, and but we're got a little Canadian love in us. How about that? So you missed that, and Ted and I introduced ourselves. I'm Andrew.
I'm Ted.
All right, there we go.
We did the cast list.
We did the cast list of the movie that we were reviewing this week, it's not a movie, it's a series on Netflix called The Four Seasons.
Starring Tina Fey, Will Forte, Kerri Kenney, Marco Calvani, Erika Henningsen, Colman Domingo, and Steve Carell.
I'm glad you did it, because I forgot Steve Carell the first time we did that. So we are picking up pieces as we redo this.
We're just rolling with the dice.
We are. I mean, this is awesome that we're doing. And I explained to our listeners out there that this series is an 8-part series. Episodes were about a half an hour long. I initially said 45 minutes to an hour, and then I got thinking about it and corrected myself, and myself said, no, they're really about a half an hour, because the 8-part series was total about 4 hours. So there you go. And the other thing of consequences that you missed was that this series is actually based off a 1981 motion picture by the same name, which was produced and written and directed by Alan Alda, who most everybody's going to know as Hawkeye from MASH.
Yes. Whew. Man, you recapped that.
Now that brings us right back to where we are or were, and guess what? We did it in half the time, just looking at the clicker here.
Yeah, we were moving.
Well, I missed out on, or left out all the Good Day A's and Canada stuff. So,
you stop going, that's not what it's about.
All right, and Ted did an excellent Scottish accent, more so than mine, and I'm not even going to attempt it at this time.
Hello, pig. Hello, pig. Get in the box.
Sean Connery.
It goes in and out. I can only do it a little bit.
When I do mine, I have to say Sean Connery. That's how I start it. Scottish. Sean Connery.
It's a brogue.
So anyway, I'm not going there. All right. You want to take this as tell what the Four Seasons is about?
Yes, it's a group of friends from college that
4 couples,
and they every season go on a trip somewhere. The first one is like a lake getaway, and then they go. One of them is a
spring.
Yes,
spring, summer next.
Yeah, where did they go in the summer?
Belize, I believe.
Belize, that's right.
Belize, a summer trip into Belize.
The third one was school.
Yeah,
they went to their alma mater.
And then
the last one was New Year's.
Right, and winter. Yeah.
Yeah, and they
hence the name Four Seasons.
Yes, and basically what happens is in the first episode, Steve Carell says he wants to get a divorce from his wife because he wants to live life and she's boring. And then she doesn't know this. The other guys know this, and she's doing a vows renewal. And in the vows renewal, they basically break up, and he starts dating a 30-year-old. Is that all there?
Well, and that's all there, but I'm just going to throw in, over the course of the season, you see how the different, because everybody's couples, there's 2, there's Steve Carell, who plays Nick, who's dating a woman now that he's divorced or going through divorce, and then there is a gay couple in there. They're a couple.
They're the best part of the show.
And
those two guys are great.
And those 2 guys are Colman Domingo and Marco Calvani. I hope I said that.
Such good chemistry together.
Maybe I'll do that real quick. This is how they paired up in the series. Steve Carell was with Kerri Kenney. and Tina Fey was paired up with Will Forte, and then Erika Henningsen, she ended up becoming the part with Steve Carell after the divorce, but Kerri Kennedy, and I'm not saying her name right.
Kerri Kenney-Silver. I knew there was more to it. Anyway, she's still in the picture because she's still a friend with everybody. So she's at the events and things like that. So, and we said 4 couples. It's really 3 couples. So unless I'm missing somebody, but anyway, that's how everybody's matched up, and they're all going through as a couple. Or as couples, they're all going through their own relationship difficulties. Where at this point, Steve Carell's character, Nick, seems to be on cruise control because he's a 60-something guy dating a 30-something-year-old girl, and he's happy. Where the rest of them are just still dealing with each other. And they resent him for it a little bit. There is zero that is not sex that you, if you're 30 years older than someone, I just always see it, and it's always these gross guys that date these girls that are like 30, and I'm like, it's gross.
Something I will never find out, because you know what, my spouse, and honey, I love you. She's not like Kerri Kennedy's character, Annie.
Mine is not either. I won't ever find out either.
You know what we did this weekend?
What?
Woke up Saturday morning, 5:30 in the morning, packed a bag, got in the car, and we drove east. We spent the day in Gatlinburg, drove across the Great Smoky Mountains into North Carolina, went to the wrong hotel, drove through the valley and went into little shops. Then we found the right hotel. And which turned out to be a hotel and casino.
Oh, did you get a little money? Did you gamble?
Yeah, I did. I gambled. And I honestly, the first time I've ever lost. It was hurtful. I'm never going back. Bad mojo there. But it was a beautiful place. And got my picture taken next to the little Shop of Horrors slot machine. So I'll post that on our page, yeah. And then we woke up and we came through Chattanooga and had a picnic at the Park of Publix grocery store for lunch, and we drove home. It was an adventure.
Sounds like a pretty nice weekend.
Oh, we stopped on the Ocoee River, where at the exact location they held the Atlanta Olympics.
I remember.
Yeah, and we stopped at another place on the Ocoee as well, where they were actually putting rafts in. And it was a real adventure. It was. There's no slowing us down. We've dropped the hammer.
There we go. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be more of that kind of stuff going forward. And I say that, I think this movie might have inspired us to be more active so we didn't fall into the same rut and all that. It was getting back to the 4 seasons, the series here. You know, it was somewhat introspective, being an older couple.
I feel like you're going to relate to this more than me.
Yeah, you're a newlywed.
Also, they're all in their mid-50s in this, or supposed to be.
Right, in 60s, 50s, yeah, 60s.
I don't think he's supposed to be 60. I think they're all college people together, and they're all should be like 55.
Okay, well, we know that Colman Domingo's character was 57.
Okay, so they're all right about that 57.
They're all right about that age. You're right, yeah. And
Steve Carell's playing a couple years. Is he even 60? He got to be, right?
In real life? Yeah. We can find out real quick. 62.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. He's in August with us.
Hey.
Yeah, you're what, the 6th?
Uh-huh.
I'm the 27th. Steve's right between us at the 16th.
We should have a joint birthday.
We should. Steve, you're invited. Let's do it. We're going to have a group birthday, right?
Nicest guy in Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, here's the funny thing that we picked out. When we've watched a number of Steve Carell things lately, and I don't want to give anything out. They all end the same. Did you get through the whole series? Okay. Yeah. Everything lately it was Steve Carell.
No, I'm not going to give that away.
They all of them have ended the same.
Yeah.
It was kind of I think you had a conversation with my wife before coming in here.
She said she didn't want to talk about it.
She didn't want to talk, and that's the reason why she didn't want to talk about it, because everything that we've seen Steve Carell in lately ends the same. It must be in his contract. I don't want to make a commitment.
Yeah. I don't want to make a commitment.
No, that's it. You get me for one run, maybe.
Yeah, he definitely did that.
So, anyway, all right, Ted. The acting in this was... you're the pro at the acting. What'd you think?
The acting is really good. That's not the problem.
You found a problem.
To me, I can't figure out why Tina Fey wrote herself to be so much of a Grinch. Like there's no part of her character that her husband should be that nice to her.
I kind of look at it and I see what you're saying. I didn't think of it that way.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to look at this completely different.
But Tina Fey co-wrote this one, and maybe she's just she can little self-deprecating humor.
No,
about
she
herself.
seems like she doesn't like her husband. She seems like she does not.
That's the part of the that's the part of the thing is everybody's relationship after Nick, Steve Carell's character. In the very first episode, he drops a bomb on his wife in front of everybody, including her family, her father, who again was played by Alan Alda, that he wants a divorce. That's the part of that's the part of the thing is everybody's relationship after Nick, Steve Carell's character, in the very first episode, he drops a bomb on his wife in front of everybody, including her family, her father, who again was played by Alan Alda, that he wants a divorce. So I think that was the thing is it caused everybody else a little introspective of
people that had
of their individual relationships,
were Colman
because
Domingo
he kind of set a little ticking bomb off. Or planted a seed in there.
The only two people that seem like they liked each other.
This has been a good run, but I'm ready to keep going, and I don't want to slow down. And the only way that's going to happen is if I get a fresh start. And so I think it kind of made everybody look at that as like,
The only people that had chemistry in this were Colman Domingo and the other gentleman that played his husband. The only two people that seemed like they liked each other.
Yes, they made reference to there being a 15 or 17-year-old difference between the two of them. So, which offered the fact that Steve Carell and he, or that couple, had something kind of in common. But anyway, that was that was for me the best part of it was the enjoyment of watching each. Sorry, I was saying watching each couple's characters relationship develop and unwind a little bit and then rewind.
So I did not enjoy it.
You didn't?
I liked the show.
Right.
I'm just saying Tina Fey particularly wrote herself kind of an unlikable character.
Again, maybe it's just, self-deprecating humor, and that's she's good with that, and she's okay with it. And
it's the scene where he goes out that got me the most. He goes out when they're at their alma mater, and I forget she's annoyed at him for something, and he shows back up, and he has 3 albums for her. That's the one where I was like, you're just not likable in this.
Each of the characters, there was a character in each of the couples that seemed to have a stronger dependency on the other, like Nick and Annie. Annie had a stronger dependency on Nick, who was a hedge fund manager, and so he was making good money. But the opposite was of Tina Fey and Will Forte's characters, because she was the breadwinner in the house and he was a teacher, and you know, he seemed to have a lot of mess. And she was more, and then of course with Colman Domingo and Cavella, whatever. Claude, Marco's characters. Mm-hmm. Marco was totally, Claude was completely dependent upon Colman Domingo's character. I forget his name right off the top of my head here. Danny. Because he didn't have a job at all. He was the stay-at-home as the couple. And so I think that was one of the aspects of, you know, of the show, and that's what made it interesting, because it exhibited how one person in the relationship worked harder at the relationship at the other, which goes back to the original statement of it, and we'll never know because there's no prequel to this. Was it the fact that Steve Carell's character Nick decided at 57 whatever years of age and that he was going to divorce Annie? They're all college friends, and because he wants just a new life. He wants adventure. He didn't say that he wanted this divorce because he wanted to find a new wife. He wanted to live life. And I just, you know, so I don't know if that was a seed that was planted in everybody else's heads that had a more dominating role within that relationship.
Yeah.
That's it. Would you like a glass of wine?
Talking about feelings. No, it's a good show. I mean, it was an entertaining show. There'll be a second season, I'm sure.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, it's like number 1 on Netflix.
Yeah, well, that means nothing. That's. I really don't think that. I mean, I really don't think there's a lot of credibility to that. It's like, okay, who got the most streams? Or, yeah, again, you don't know the number.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it might be number 1, but it only had 10 views. We don't know because they don't. You know,
they don't tell you.
They don't tell you how many streams that it got to make it number 1. So anyway, all right, Ted, let's you want to bust some numbers on this?
Yeah.
Did you like that terminology?
Bust it.
Bust some numbers.
71.
Okay, that was my score. I was a 7-1.
I mean, I'm not going to ever watch it again, but I would. I mean, I'd watch a new season.
It's hard to watch a series over again unless, you know.
It really is.
I mean, time passes and then maybe you go back and watch it, but
yeah,
you know, it's not like, you know, Top Gun Maverick where crap, you can play that every week.
Get me jacked up.
I mean, goodness gracious. That's one there. All right. Yeah, I'm a 7-1 on this. I thought it was good. And I'll be surprised if it comes back as another series. I'm just kind of looking at this as a one-off. And going for there. So
we'll see what happens.
We will.
If you're into, I think if you're over 50 years old, this is a show that you're going to probably be into.
I mean, I know my number's kind of low, but we've watched some good stuff lately. And if I had a choice of turning something back on, and again, I try to go back and look at my scores of what I gave other things, and okay, if I gave A a 73 and this is B and it wasn't as good, then I'm going to have a lower number, because I really don't want to be one of these guys going back to adjust 10 years of numbers. Mm-hmm. I mean, and I've got enough OCD to do it, so yeah, it's a struggle.
Yeah, if you've been married for 20 years, and I think this is aimed at you. I've been married for 2 years. It's not aimed at me.
Yeah. And my wife and I thoroughly enjoyed it. We sat there on the couch. We basically knocked this out in 2 sittings. We watched the first 4 episodes, and then we watched the last 4 episodes. So
That's what we did.
we just binged it. I mean,
Yeah, we did the same thing.
And I'm glad that Netflix just dropped the whole thing at the same time. That's the way it should be done.
Because Last of Us is killing everybody.
So,
you gotta wait every week.
Yeah, I missed Sunday. I was traveling. I haven't caught up.
You should watch it. Jeffrey Wright's in it.
I need to, but you know what? I had to. Because I missed also Sunday night. I missed the final episode of the Righteous Gemstones, and I mean I was just like, okay, how bad can the ending be? So I was literally driving back from Chattanooga. I'm thinking about, all right, it's Sunday. The Righteous Gemstones are final episodes on tonight. How bad is it really going to be? And
how bad was it?
Well, out of every episode in the series, other than the first one, which none of the regular cast members in, it was basically a solo project by Bradley Cooper, who did a fantastic job. Which, if you're going to do a spinoff, there it is, right there, the grandfather Righteous Gemstone. But it was it was the best episode that all the principals were in, which I think there might have been 4, maybe 5 episodes where they were all in together, because they had a couple where they weren't. And so, but it wasn't great. It was not season 3. It was not season 2. It wasn't season 1.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it. He'll come out with a new show in a year or so. That'll be something.
Okay, I'll give it a try, because I like Danny McBride, and I think he's funny, and
Vice Principals.
I think he. I like his style of comedic writing.
I do too. I love it.
I do. He's not afraid to. He's not afraid to push that boundary. And if you guys aren't familiar with Danny McBride, and
let me rip it off for him.
Right. What's that guy, the comedian right now? Shane Gillis. Danny McBride, if his writing style is the same as the act of Shane Gillis. If you took words and were able to put them into a humanoid form, it's Shane Gillis.
Yeah, I just feel like he always takes these anti-hero people and plays them like they believe in themselves so much. And that's why it's funny. Like, Eastbound and Down is one of the greatest comedic... The first season of Eastbound and Down is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And the entire premise of somebody being like... listening to his own audiobook in the car before he goes in to be a substitute teacher, where he's like, when I was 19, my arm was like a GD rocket ship. Please flip the tape to hear side B of You're Effing Out. Come on.
Yeah. Now, I agree. That was very, very funny. I enjoyed it too. This whole Gemstone series, the reason I liked it was because it was ripping the Band-Aid off of, in my opinion, and making light of, and in a very funny way, these mega churches ripping people off.
Yeah,
there was no there was no cover over the fact that it was a scam. They didn't, your dollars are going in our pocket, and we are spending them.
like old TBN over in Hendersonville.
Yeah, it's like, they made no shame of the fact that they took donations and bought monster trucks and used them for their own pleasure, and there was just a whole bunch of other stuff that Baby Billy, and I need $1 million. I want to make a show. And they had made no pause about it, which made it absolutely hysterical.
Yeah, you've watched it more than me. I've only seen 1 or 2 episodes.
Oh, up until this, I don't understand it. Ted Lasso. What was it? 3 seasons of Ted Lasso. 4 seasons sucked.
You got to tie it all together.
force. No, you don't. No, you don't. There doesn't have to be an ending. You know what? Dallas could have ended with Who Shot JR and just left people hanging. Just left them hanging. And you know what? Just continue the story. Here's my season 4 of The Righteous Gemstones. And we'll be done. Or I'll be done. Here's my... Because season 1, 2, and 3 was really focused on this power struggle of the 3 children of John Goodman's character, the leader of the Gemstones, who was going to take control of the church when he retired. And then this episode started basically, he was already gone and it was still a struggle. I mean, they had this 3-person council, just like, you assume was probably a power test in the 3rd season. But I thought that would have been funnier if they just really focused on the power struggle of who's going to obtain the church. And they had excellent elements built into this season that could have driven that storyline. That really could. But they just incorporated so many new things. I mean, season 3 ended with the lover of the daughter, and I forget her name off the top of my head again. I'm terrible with names. I don't know who's sitting here. This is the reason we opened the show with, hello, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Ted.
That way I know who I'm sitting across. All right, his name is Ted.
You're about to talk about Steve. My
Ted.
buddy Steve Schneider played the guy, her love interest.
In season 3, and he gets killed, right?
Mm-hmm. Dark-haired guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
BJ.
He's really funny.
Yeah, BJ, the real husband, kills him, right? And then, it's like there was no follow-up to that. That would have been an excellent sub-storyline of the church covering up this scandal. I mean, not a stretch there, is it? I mean, these churches have scandals. So anyway, instead it was just, they brought in new characters, and it was just a whole different storyline.
So Andrew's take is don't watch season 4.
Yeah, I mean, well, you go ahead and watch it. Just don't expect 1 through 3. I mean, it's like Lasso. Don't expect season 4 to.
Can't wait for season 5 of Ted Lasso next year.
So, yeah, Ted's not going to be in it. What are they going to call it?
For sure, I know he is.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't thought he was done.
Yeah, and then they backed a truck of money up to his house.
Oh, well, that always works.
It does.
Speaking of which, I'm going to say goodbye so I can go see if there's a truck out there backing up with.
Let's go see.
Doubt it. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing, and we really appreciate it. And until next week, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Ted.